Hello everybody and welcome to a spotlight video of Evolve. This is myself, my name is Noden. That's Pat Rock over there, and the big spiky dude guy. He was lucky enough to be invited to the Big Alpha. Was that what it was? The Big Alpha?
Big Alpha, so it wasn't really that lucky. He was pretty big, as the name might suggest.
I didn't get an invite, and I'm just so much cooler. So,
well,
well, that's debatable. But anyway, so Pat recorded a bunch of this for us, and he's going to show me about it because I know practically nothing about Evolve. So he's going to go and we're going to watch this. We're watching it together via the miracles of technology, and he's going to tell me all about it, and I'm going to ask him a lot of really stupid questions.
Well, if you don't know anything about it, you might be familiar with something like Left 4 Dead.
Yes.
It's made by the same people.
Okay.
And it's like that game in reverse. So, instead of 4 people fighting hundreds and hundreds of weak little zombies, it's 4 people versus 1 super tough monster, this guy here.
Oh, okay.
There's actually different monster classes in the game, but the alpha just had this fellow guy here.
The big spiky-haired...
Yeah,
the big spiky dude.
That's
okay.
it's the Goliath, and he's just the brute force monster. There's a
okay.
flying one. I think there's gonna be a stealth one.
Oh.
Yeah, they might have a few other. They haven't announced yet either.
And you're playing as the monster in this, right?
This is my first time playing as monster. I didn't do too bad, if I do say so myself. You'll see proof of that later on. And basically, as you're seeing here, there's other wildlife in the game.
Okay.
It's all NPC controlled. Some of it is passive, and some is not so passive. Some is pretty angry.
Oh, okay.
So there's
against the monster, or against
against everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's some really big, huge ones that really fuck your day up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I ended up killing one of them too, but they can really screw with the hunters. And I guess I should point out now. See, there's one of the angrier mobs right there. Yeah, but there's usually packs of them too. See, there's another one there. And you can see that blue bar filling up too as I eat the downed wildlife.
Yeah. And
that's actually where the namesake of the game comes, because you can evolve the monster. You start with 3 points. I think it's 3 points. A handful of points before the round starts to put into various abilities. And then from there, you have to eat more meat. So you're getting a lay of the land up here, running away from the angry things. And then once that blue bar fills up, you can evolve, and you grow bigger, stronger, and you get more points to put into your various abilities. So you can see those at the top. I've got, what do I have? I think the first one's a rock smash. You could yank...
They look like a spitball.
Well, it's a projectile. You yank earth out of the ground and throw it at somebody.
So
a leap attack, and then fire breath.
And whip them with your tail.
Yep. There's a 4th ability, I think, called a charge for this guy, and I assume the different monsters will have different abilities.
Now I have to ask, because I'm an anthropologist and I have studied evolution to a very large extent. Now, do you really evolve, or do you just sort of grow? Because
it's called evolve.
But you don't really become another creature. You just become like a bigger, badder version of the same creature, correct?
Isn't that what evolution's all about, baby?
Yeah, but you know what? When I became an adult, I became a bigger, badder version of my infant self.
Well,
so
you'll see it in a second, because you can see right now I actually have the prompt to evolve, but I saw the hunters coming up on me. And basically, when you're the monster, the first thing you're going to do, and you may have seen the instructions to do so, is just run. Because when you're level 1, you're really not that badass. And the hunters, if they work together, they can kill you pretty quick. So
you want to get away from it. Now, does the actual evolution change? Does that lock you in a position kind of a thing? Make you extra weak for a little period of time, or?
You're in a cocoon, and you'll see that soon. That's why I got a glimpse of the hunters there, so I'm trying to find right now a safe spot.
The fuck out of Dodge, as it were.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And you'll see it soon. And like I said, when you start off, the hunters, if they work together, they can really see. You can sort of get a glimpse. Oh, I'm evolving now.
Oh, okay.
That's me being all gross.
Oh, look at you! You're just gonna come out like a little leggy.
So you're of course pretty vulnerable in this state. You're stationary. You don't get to move around. I think you glow a bit. And there I am, bigger,
badder, spikier.
Yep. much spikier.
More spiky Pat.
You actually do get spikier. So yeah, and the hunters basically, they want to kill you. They have various abilities to do so. One class of hunter, there's I want to say 4 classes.
Okay.
Is actually called the hunter.
So same sort of like Left 4 Dead, like I guess Left 4 Dead didn't really have classes per se. They had roles.
Yeah, I mean you could based on what weapons you chose.
Yeah.
But these actually have like abilities. So the trapper, he's got. He can put up a dome shield, so he throws this grenade thing, and it puts a huge dome arena around that you can't escape from for a time.
Oh, okay. So it's like yeah, so it just locks you in so it puts you into a nice little cocoon from which you can be eaten. All right, I get that. You know.
Yeah.
Seems like a really sweet ability.
So yeah, and you can't escape from it, and it basically locks you in, makes you easy pickings. They also have a harpoon turret things that they can place down, so it makes you slower, and mobility for the monster is obviously a big thing.
Right, because if you can't get away, you can't. Yeah, but you can obviously you can soak up like a lot of like automatic weapon fire kind of a thing. Like you're like, once you get to the higher stages of evolution.
In fact, at the top you can see a blue bar with my health, red bar.
Okay.
Here's me killing one of those big mobs I told you about.
Okay, yeah.
They give a lot of meat.
Let's say there's some big baddies in here.
Yeah, and that I think is one of the more docile ones too.
Well, it's crazy. Well, it's interesting too because I mean you're one guy who's fighting 4, we'll say, friends kind of a thing, but like there's all this PvE stuff that's going on as well. So like you have like there's more than one element to it, right? It's not strictly PvP. You're not strictly PvE. It's not like Left 4 Dead where it was co-op PvE. It's like you've got to deal with the elements, as it were, as well as God knows what 4 other guys are doing. Yep,
and there's even other stuff, other elements. I'm glad you mentioned that because there's like weather that can change. It can be foggier, rainier. You may have seen me alerted a few times already. There's birds that if you walk near them, they all fly in the air, and then the hunters see the birds, and so they know where you are.
Damn hunters and their tracking skills.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of
coming
one
to
of
my planet, try to eat me.
Yeah, like for the hunters, the first portion of the game is just you kind of chasing around these clues of the monster. So it's kind of like Bring Around the Rosie for the first little while there.
Shit, you just decimated those little bastards.
Yeah, I think I used a leap attack there. Did some good splash damage. And I'm about ready to evolve into. Eating also recharges your shield, which is the blue bar I was talking about earlier.
Right.
The red bar, I think once you lose that, it doesn't regenerate. So like, if you have a few scuffles with the hunters early on.
So the shield's just sort of like an exoskeleton.
Yeah. That's
now okay. So
armor.
like, what's the? It's like. I realize this is an alpha state, so we don't really have any of sort of the backstory of the game, and I know Left 4 Dead didn't really have much backstory other than hey, zombie apocalypse. But what do we know? Like, is it like 4 bastards just coming into my home wanting to kill me, or if I like, well, I just saw like a bunch of like obviously human-looking machinery. Like as the monster, have you like gone into a place, like are you terrorizing a village and then these guys are like, don't worry young village, we will say, is it the 7 samurai is what I'm asking?
Well, I'm glad you asked because they just recently announced a sort of campaign mode where it seems to be that this is a human colony and these horrible monsters have showed up. I don't know if they're from a experiment gone awry or they're just undiscovered wildlife. But they're here, they're killing a lot of people, and they send in these hunters. Now, I just want to mention real quick, I'm level 3 now, and once you reach level 3, you get to go for the objective, which is this power relay here.
Okay. Because you're big and bad enough that you can handle all the power of the universe. Unlimited power!
Exactly. Now, see, I could kill all the hunters to win, and kill them all at once, because they do get a 2-minute respawn timer, so if I kill all but one, and the other one escapes, the others can respawn. Or I could destroy the power relay and win the game. And because that's what I'm focused on now, they've all finally been able to catch up to me. and box me into this one building. But I'm level 3, so I don't give a fuck. As you can see, I line them all up with that charge attack, which is pretty great. And because I played in the earlier alpha as hunters, I knew how valuable medic could be. So that's who I went for first here.
Presumably the medic can also revive people in the field without waiting for the respawn timers, right?
There's different types of each class too. So only one medic actually has one that can revive you past the down state. Down state, very much like Left 4 Dead, where you can be revived, like brought up by anybody. And see, I just killed the medic just there. So from here, it's like the medic can constantly heal the other players. Yeah.
So on a technical side, how does it run? I mean, obviously it's in an alpha state, so it's not, you know.
Yeah.
It's not that's set up for, you know, everyday computing, but like, does it run okay? Because it looks pretty good.
See, it looks great. This is on low settings because it didn't run without lots of hitching on higher settings, which kind of disappointed me. But like you said, it's alpha. I was sort of expecting that.
It's not optimized, right? But
it's not. Doesn't seem so yet. But I mean, this is low settings. Like, it looks awesome. It's CryEngine 3, I want to say.
Okay.
It's CryEngine something. I think it's CryEngine 3. And there's me finishing off Last of Hunters, so I win.
Monster wins.
And it gives you this, there's some progression. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this in like a co-op sort of game, where you can unlock all these different abilities, or like basically what seems like just straight upgrades of past stuff, not side grades, you know what I mean? It might make things in balance, where something like this feels like balance would be really, really important to the flow of each game. Like, I wouldn't want to fight an OP monster.
That would be the big, and that's I suppose the big problem and the big question with this game is how is the balance? I mean, you have 4 guys against 1 monster, and I mean, so we know that the guys have to be so strong, the monster has to be so strong, but does there feel like there's a good balance, or?
So far, I've gotten. Well, most of the monsters I fought, they didn't really know the game, so they were, at least at a certain point, pretty easy to dispatch. I had a pretty close round once where I was the last to escape as a hunter, but I was able to. For some reason, the monster ran away. It didn't finish me off, so I was able to wait for my buddies.
Away, the monster. Okay.
Yeah. This is really cool too. I like this little after game map where it shows like the path everyone took and where the fights
cool.
happened.
So you kind of see like oh shit, they were right behind me the whole time, or as it appears to be in this case.
Yeah. You just have to stay one step ahead as the monster. But yeah, that's my first round as monster here. We do have a bit more footage here as another round where I also kind of kicked ass and took names. It's I don't think it's quite as long, but it still shows a few more things here. All right. We're gonna fade out to that now. Actually,
roll the clip.
All right, so now
seamless transition.
Yeah. Now here's some footage of Hunter side.
So cool.
This
actually,
this is I think my first time playing as Hank here. He's support, the support class. So he's got a shield generator he can use to generate an extra overshield over.
Oh, so this is this the bubble thing? The
no, it's just like a
crispy outside.
Yeah, personal shield.
Chewy inside. Okay.
Yeah, and he can cloak himself and friendlies who are nearby.
Okay.
Oh, he's got this handy dandy airstrike, which is really hard to land on the monster that moves around like crazy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Fine. Yeah, and he's got a laser sort of Gatling gun that heats up really fast, but it does some good damage, especially versus the armor, I think. Yeah, that cloak comes in real handy if you're trying to revive a downed friendly, because if the monster can't see you, it's much harder for them to finish. You all start off in this cool-ass dropship.
Oh, it's like a bit of a cinematic or something. Like, now is it the same like cinematic every time, or is there like a?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully, like in the full version, it'll be slightly varying, because it seems a bit. I mean, it's pretty cool looking.
It is cool looking.
Oh, we're actually gonna drop out.
Yeah, you all have jetpacks.
That's really cool.
I should mention. Everyone has jetpacks.
Oh, so you can. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. You'll notice
that's kind of awesome.
There's this fellow here. He's with the trapper. This trapper.
You got a little puppy. Oh, a spiky puppy.
You get a spiky puppy, and they that tracks the monster a bit. It can revive down friendlies too.
Daisy.
Daisy,
Oh,
yeah.
Actually, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty handy. I don't think it does damage versus a monster, but it's a cool little support.
Well, again, like if it can revive, like it means that, like theoretically, if everybody were down, there's a possibility that there's that.
Yep, actually that was
puppy can come save you.
That was the last thing I killed when I was a monster. Just
oh, okay.
Everyone else is down, but then there's Daisy still, so I had to finish poor Daisy off.
Oh, poor Daisy.
Yep. So here I am jetting around, trying to get a good vantage point, lay of land. There's some wildlife. This one's passive here, so it'll just run away from you.
Oh, yeah.
Good idea not to kill the passive ones, just because you can see it gives you notification before there's birds.
Okay, that's a bird there, yeah. And you see your little jetpack climb up there.
Yeah, and there's a monster already.
Oh, God, what a guy!
He's not so great. He can climb
Run,
the walls.
Chesler, run, Chesler.
We also have the medic. The medic heals you, of course, and also has like a sniper tranquilizer gun that can slow the monster. And the assault, he's a damage dealer. He's got a lightning gun, which is kind of like a close range sort of flamethrower-y thing, and a machine gun. Oh, you can put down mines.
And this is at early stage, you're saying, where it's like the monster's level 1 and he's basically just a big weakling baby.
Yep. And there's
who's
that
still
dome
somehow
shield.
Terrorizing the village, but you know.
There's a dome shield I mentioned.
Oh, okay. So now he can't get out of this, so he's just a trapped little duckling as well.
Yep.
See, I could see that being like really counterproductive once he's like a level 3 or something like that. Because I mean, I suppose it's a big enough area, but
yeah, but you want to keep him away from the power relay too, I guess.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And it like I suppose that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, and you can see weak spots. I think the hunter reveals weak spots on him if you shoot those. Damage. There's some mines at the assault place. This one's pretty short, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't go.
Again, well, like you said, like he's still.
I think it must be his first time too.
And it's early alpha. I could actually really see this as like getting to be a really competitive game. Yeah. Especially because you only need 5 players. I mean, it's so hard, like in some of these like newer games where it's like, oh, you could have like 30-player multiplayer or something like that. Like, but to like field anybody like. Even PlanetSide 2 or something like that. I mean, you could play with, like we do, just the 2 of us. But I mean, to be like an effective group, you have to have a larger group.
Oh, there's one of the big mobs too, and I run the fuck away from it because it's gonna kill me. It's gonna ruin my day.
Fucking, wow,
I think they can basically one hit
from hell.
Yeah. Yeah, and you mentioning it's the competitive nature. They've framed a lot of the trailers for the game as that. With like competitive commentary and stuff, matches from varying perspectives, which is actually pretty cool. And I agree, I could see it that way. It's hard to say what work the balance might need, because like people are all new in the alpha, so like there could be different playstyles that evolve. Out of see, there's me just right. Out of just experience of playing the game. Some things might end up being OP, who knows. Okay, there's me using cloak because I'm scared. But really, my biggest
Chesler, you're at half health, Chesler. Run for the hills, Chesler.
Using my shield to enemies who are getting brains. But yeah, my biggest
that's
problem.
That's pretty nice too, because you can like presumably there's like a tank-ish class, so you can kind of like throw, as long as the monster's not attacking you, you can kind of cloak him and give him a little bit better fighting chance.
Yep. So we work together really well here, and we made short work with the monster here. But yeah, my biggest problem isn't the balance. It's just that this round worked pretty well, but some other rounds I played, you're kind of just running around chasing like the birds, notifications you see, stuff like that, until he's like level 3. And then you finally catch up with them, but it's.
And how long would you say the matches were, like on average? Like obviously
10
this is a
to
short
15
one.
minutes.
Last one seems it was like 15 minutes or so. Hunters win. Hunters killed the monster and flew off in their spacey ship.
Yeah, and like it's usually around. This is a short one. You got some more player progression here for hunters. Which, yeah, that it does worry me a bit for the balance, but a lot of these are just abilities that you can equip at the start of the round.
Right.
So we'll see.
But it's not like Team Fortress or anything like that, where I mean, there's upgrades. But see, and that's sort of where I kind of look at it. It's like you look at Team Fortress, and they've got you know, different weapons that are admittedly better than some of the early ones, but it doesn't really, they don't ruin the balance that much.
Well, there might be some people that argue that. I know there are some people who do. Oh, there's a Bucket. You see.
Balance, I mean.
Yeah. You saw another character, Bucket. He's like the robot version of this guy. He has different abilities. So there's, I think there's 2, maybe 3 sets of each hunter class.
So that's actually, so you have an opportunity to kind of at least find a role that fits your play style better. So you're not like locked in.
Yep. Yeah.
As much.
Yeah. It seems like you could do a lot of variety here.
It'd be nice too if you could sort of customize and say, oh no, I want this and this. But I suppose that would again be in a game where balance is going to be such an issue. It could be really tough to make sure that you could, like, I don't know. You can't have like 3 good items that are spread across 3 different like versions of the same class, and then have one guy say, well, I want all 3 of those against the monster. I mean, that's obviously going to be.
Yeah. They do try and keep balance in mind. You can't switch out your main abilities, as far as I know. But your sort of side perks like 25% jetpack recharge increase, stuff like that, I think you could choose to start with.
Just sort of increase your mobility a little bit more than increase your damage output.
It doesn't seem too serious, but I mean, who knows? You might see different playstyles come out of it.
Actually, an interesting comparison I should think to this right now is that new games at Depth with the shark and the divers. Yeah, you have a couple people playing sharks, and like 4 people or 5 people or a number of people playing divers. Which again is going to be a really balance heavy game. It looks fantastic. Actually, I really want to play that. But that's one game that feels like
asymmetric sort of hunter cat and mouse.
Yeah, but that's another game though. It seems like it would be the best to have like this seems like it would be best to play with your friends. Like you could play it online, obviously with strangers.
Left 4 Dead is the same way.
I think the most fun you're going to have is with 5 friends, right, or 4 friends. You being the 5th friend, but that's hard to say. Because I mean,
but I like it so far. It's fun.
Yeah,
I'd
all get one big Skype call and.
Yeah, I'd say it's fun as of now. I'm really not sure if it's got the longevity of something like Left 4 Dead, because so many of those matches, like I said, just end up being you chasing around.
Well, and Left 4 Dead had the other advantage of that they had that huge modding ability to bring in new maps.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to have that.
So.
But they did, like I said, they did announce the campaign mode, which sounds really cool. It's basically different, a series of rounds, like you saw, but there's different game types. So there's one where the monster, instead of being more offensive, he has to protect a certain number of eggs.
Oh, okay. So then you become more where you're playing on a defensive role with the big monster. Actually, honestly, that would be a huge change in dynamic.
Yeah.
And then you don't have your main advantage as the monster is that mobility, being able to just get the hell away as fast as you can. You lose that completely. So.
And what changes it even more is that if you win a round or win a match in the campaign mode, you might have an advantage in the next match. So if humans win a certain match, in the next match they might have like auto turrets in the map.
Oh wow.
Yeah, if the monster wins, he might get more like predatory wildlife in the next match. So that's the campaign mode. It sounds pretty cool. I think there's going to be a story to it that I sort of touched on earlier. There's a trailer out there that sort of explains it.
Again, this drop-in thing, it looks fantastic, but it's just so repetitive. Like, even this is the second time I've seen it, I'm like, fuck, it is so repetitive already. Like, I just like, can I just click a button to skip? I want a skip button already.
Well, I think it's there to maybe mask the load times of other players too.
Yeah, it could be.
So,
and I mean, it does help. It does give you that bit of immersion kind of a thing, but this doesn't. At the moment, like, and again, the campaign may be slightly different, but it doesn't seem like we're looking for immersion. This is a match.
They want to give the monster a head start too, so the monster's already running around while you're seeing that animation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they want.
Oh, so instead of just sitting there with a black screen and a timer like you would in Gary's mod. What's the Troll and Terrorist Town or something like that? We were just sitting around, or not that. What's the other one? What's the Prop Hunt? Where you're just sitting with a black screen and a timer waiting to count down. At least you have something to look at.
Yeah.
Might-
Yeah, exactly.
Variety, you know.
They might have variety with like the different hunters too.
Maybe splash a little bit of, like, you know, the games we play on the screen. That'd be.
Yeah.
I mean, if developers are interested, I mean, I'm sure we can come to some agreement.
Yeah, you know, some sort of something. That's fair.
Oh, fucking crazy.
Yeah, there's I think there's more
It's like
wildlife they haven't revealed yet, and there's
It's
different.
like an antelope mixed with a velociraptor.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. That's this big fellow.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I thought it was like the actual monster. I'm like, it's a different monster. It's a fucking horny toad.
Yeah, no. Sometimes you can get a bit confused, thinking like, did we just kill the monster? Or
Was that it? I mean, just already? I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Like,
A few of the wildlife have special things like.
I guess that's lunch, boys and girls. I mean,
some things will have a notification over their heads. If you kill them, you get a. This guy, you might get a special advantage, temporary buff.
Oh, okay.
What's this one? Increase reloads and item switch, and that's only temporary.
oh, so like so even like you as like the hunters are actually big air quotes again evolving by killing these
Little bit.
little meaty
It's like a temporary
morsels.
buff.
Now why is the ground glowing? Is that like footprints or
Yep,
okay?
that's what Daisy sees. And there's a fellow now. He just evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, it's Chusler again. Run, Chusler.
I don't think it ends very well for Chesler this time either.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Chesler.
I think that's a good spot to.
Yeah, but, he's just fighting the wall. He's like, oh, no, it's the rat in the cage. He's like miming. He's like, ooh.
Yeah. But I think that's a good spot to wrap it up. I'll just spoil and say it doesn't go too well for Chesler again here.
Poor Chusler. Never saw it coming.
Yeah. He's
gotten Darwin Awards
getting there.
for Chesler here.
He'll get there.
It's a joke, Darwin. You got taken out of the evolutionary pool. All right.
Yeah.
So that's a good place to end, is what you're saying. Your jokes are lame, Noden. Shut up. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. This it looks like a great game. I'm excited to see what it develops into in the future.
I'm
thanks,
really
Pat,
excited
for
to see
showing
where
us.
it goes.
This is really cool.
Well, thank you. Anytime, my friend.
All right. Thanks everybody. Have a good night.
I love you. Goodbye. Thanks.
Bye.